All right, so UFC Paris, crappy card, but good at the top. You said you were most excited for the Rose fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's more. I don't know. I think it's a better shakeup um, than than the actual main event, but division wise. But I mean, the card's not. It's really not bad. Like I said, there's a lot of the younger. No, I shouldn't say younger, but more of the lesser known European guys on this card. And I think there's going to be a couple showcases. Um,
I agree.
but betting wise, I'm not. I don't know. I'm honestly, I might take only like one or two bets, or see if anything changes during the weigh-ins. But we shall see. We shall see. Maybe I take a couple of the French national team. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think for me it'll be one or two big spots, or I'll take a few of the unders and overs because there's not a lot of pure money line spots that I'm all that interested in. There's a couple guys, a couple underdogs I like, and we'll talk about them. But I am probably most excited for the Benoit Saint Denis Moises fight, and then the Manon Fiorot versus Rose, because I feel like both of those have the opportunity to be like bangers. Like I feel like both of them power punchers without a whole lot of technique in the BSD versus Thiago Moises. They're both really wrestlers and grapplers. And then the Rose fight, I feel like Rose is coming up a weight class. Manon has power in her hands. Rose is either gonna get knocked out or she's gonna probably do the knocking out. So it's gonna be really fun to watch that one too. What's this first fight? I don't even know these
Well, do you
people.
want, what do you want to do? Do you want to start at the bottom? You want to switch it up? We start with the top of the card.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Let's. Oh, dude, I forgot we got one of your Irish prospects, Connor Wannabe here, down here in the middle. Yeah, let's start at the
They're
top though. Let's.
all of them. Listen, anyone that's from Ireland coming out right now, they all want to be Connor. I mean, and
Yeah,
there's
man.
nothing wrong with that. That's double champ, tons of money. So
Ian
and,
Gary's the
and
man though. He's the one that could do it.
we'll see,
We'll
we'll see.
see. We will see. But
So
yeah.
to start off for us, we're gonna start at the top of the card. Cyril Bongamin Gane versus Sergey the Polar Bear Spivak.
Oh man.
Um, I this is going to be something that I am going to take some action on. Um, I don't I don't know um, where Gon is in his headspace. Um, he looked like a deer in headlights facing, a John Jones um, that hasn't fought in 3 years. Granted, it's John Jones, but it seems to me he gets taken down too easily. That wasn't a good takedown by John Jones. I think everybody knows that. I think John Jones was surprised he got that takedown. Um, I think this is going to be something where Spivak uh, gets him on the ground and either submits him or gets him out by strikes. We saw Gon's fight before that. He's got the win over Tui, but that was just kind of like a stand and bang fight. And then before that, he lost to Francis, which was taken down again by Ngannou on the ground. I think Spivak's path to victory here is gonna be take him down, pound him out, or submit him. The only major blip in the last five fights for Spivak is Tom Aspinall, who Tom Aspinall is fantastic. I think that personally, I think Tom Aspinall is a much better all around fighter than Gane. So to me, I think I'm gonna go with Spivak here. I think he can do it. I think he's a couple years younger, um, pretty much the same height. Spivak is gonna probably come in closer to that 265 than Gone, so I think he's gonna have to use that extra, 10 pounds and really kind of get him on the ground and work from there.
Yeah, man. And Spivak's got that Moldovan blood, man. Something about those countries over there, those grapplers, it's just a different world. I don't know. For me here, I go back and forth, and I've been going back and forth all week. And Gon is the man when it comes to kickboxing, and Spivak is the man when it comes to grapple fucking in the heavyweight division. Unless we're talking like Jout and Almeida, maybe he would probably
Yeah.
take out Spivak. But my only worry, the only thing really keeping me off of Spivak here, is I don't really like his wins. Sakai, kind of a bum now. I used to like Augusto Sakai, but he doesn't really have much going for him nowadays. Greg Hardy, bum. Derek Lewis, I know we just saw him get a win, but before that he was on like a 5-fight losing streak. Alexei Oleinik, who's 950 years old. Jared Vandera, Carlos Felipe, who they called him, I don't know, Mexican Diaz or something because he just took so many punches to the face. Tai
Mhm.
Tuivasa is a good win, but he was losing to Mycene Turbura, Walt Harris. It kind of it's keeping me away from feeling this money line a little bit more, because he doesn't have that top five win. Granted, Derek Lewis was a title contender, 3 or 4 years ago. Maybe that was more like five. I can't remember. I don't know how many years ago it was, but he was a title contender. Spivak beats him. I don't know if Spivak's got the juice to throw around Gon like a John Jones or a Francis Ngannou. Granted, I don't think Francis Ngannou's grappling is all that good. I just think he's purely, could win a strongman competition. I just know you touch Ngannou and it feels like he's made out of fucking steel. Um, I don't know. I think I'll probably. It's gonna. Oh, man, this is so tough. It's gonna be Spivak early. I think Spivak, if he gets him down first two rounds, that's gonna be the time he has to get a finish. If he doesn't get a finish in the first two rounds, I think he probably gets finished in the final three rounds on the feet because takedowns get a little harder to get, especially when you're the one chasing. Gon is gonna at least put up a little bit of resistance. I think. But I think Spivak probably gets a submission early. I really could see him just getting him on the mat and then getting like a rear naked choke or arm triangle like he did against Derek Lewis. Because if you guys watched the Derek Lewis, it was slick. He caught him. He caught him mid transition into the arm triangle, and I could see that again here. I'll go Spivak. I'm gonna go round two submission. I think he's probably gonna get a
Wow.
sub, and I think it's gonna be early. I don't think he's going to be able to win an extended fight against Gon. That's my hot take, though. I won't have much money on it if I have any, but I might sprinkle him under 2.5. So Spivak and then by finish or Spivak and under 2.5. It's kind of going to be where I feel comfortable here in this main event.
Now, also, not for nothing. I know you're not impressed with Alexei Olenek. He's old. Yeah, granted, he's old. He's also got 70 something fights,
Yeah, he does.
pro fights. He's got 47 submissions on his record. And Spivak went the distance and won. So you almost got to look at, all right, he went with a top submission threat guy, right? And then he went with Derek Lewis, who is throws bombs, right? I don't think. Well, the last time we saw somebody go up somebody with good submissions and is just a freak all around, was John Jones. But prior to that, I mean, Tui, no. Francis, no. Derek Lewis, no. you're not looking. You know what I mean? You're not finding anybody that's going to put him in a real situation. I don't think.
Yeah. I have another
I mean,
theory here as well, Tim. I think for heavyweights, I think it's extremely hard to train for grapplers because the amount of men in the world who are 265 pounds who can grapple like Sergey Spivak is very fucking limited. You know, like there's not many men to find in France that are going to be able to grapple like Sergey Spivak or like John Jones. And I kind of think that might be one of the issues. And that might be why heavyweight grapplers, have so much success just wrestle fucking people, is because it's so hard to find someone who emulates them. Because there's not many of them in the entire world. Most big guys are just lumbering power punchers. There's not many grapplers out there who are going to put up a nice training camp with you to get you ready for this. And so I don't know if Gane's going to be ready. He was not ready for John Jones, so you'd think he would have a better game plan here. But I also know Cyril Gane doesn't really fucking train very much. He goes in there and he has fun. He likes to strike in training. But you hear all around from France, France fighters and France news stations that Cyril Gane is kind of just a guy who's a freak of nature and has gotten his as far as he is on being a freak of nature, and that just doesn't really inspire me to want to lay minus 170 or minus 160 on him.
not only that, I think there's a ton of pressure on him, um, being at home in France, um, dropping two of the last three.
Yeah,
Uh, I don't. I think there's a lot of pressure on him, and this is kind of a make or break moment for him because I don't know. I don't know what you do with him at that point. Um, do you? I mean, he was the interim champ. Then he loses, and then he wins, and then he gets another shot, and he loses. So if he drops three out of his last four, what do they do with him?
he could be Francis Ngannou's next PFL opponent.
No, I don't think. No, I don't. But it's a hard situation.
You get him a bounce back in that situation. You get him
What
somebody
is
out of the top 10, probably.
like what they did almost with Derek Lewis? You think
Yeah, something like that.
he's got
Honestly, Rogerio
he's
de Lima
he's
would be
got a
perfect.
yeah yeah yeah. But like you said, I'm not. Um, I might just hit Spivak. I'll probably do by finish. That'll give me a nice little plush chunk, and then because he could also, God has no urgency to get off the ground,
No, he does
so
not.
he could just throw those tapping punches to the side of the head, and if he doesn't do anything, they might stop it. They might not be crazy damaging, but if he's not punching back, or if he's not trying to get out of the situation and he's mentally broke, I think it could get finished that way too.
Yeah, because Gon has striking muscles, and striking muscles and grappling muscles are two very different things. And so, Spivak gets him in a spot on the mat or on the ground, and Gon's gonna have a tough task ahead of him to get out of that position and get up and work his way up. And Spivak he knows how to fucking control people, and I feel like that's probably gonna be where we see the first two rounds end up. I bet if I had to put money on it, I'd say 3 minutes in each of the first two rounds is going to be on the mat. And that's a lot of time for Cyril Gane to try to survive. That's 6 minutes in the first two rounds to try to survive. And I just don't see him surviving. I really don't.
Yeah. Well, I think we're both on
Yep.
Spivak. So
Same page there.
yeah, I'm glad. So far, one, me and you. We're on the same page here.
I like it.
Um, we shall see this next one though. I'll let you take it away since this is your spot. You've been waiting to say this girl's name.
Rose Namajunas is my girl. She is someone I've been a fan of for majority of her career, for sure her entire UFC career. I watched her beat Joanna twice. I watched her beat Weili Zhang twice, and she's a badass. But she's a head case, and there is zero attempt from her to hide being a head case. You know, she's willing to come out and say, "I struggle mentally with my fights. I struggle mentally being a fighter. I went in and grappled Jillian Robertson and got submitted in the first round just because, you know, I didn't even try or sort of thing, or I didn't even know if I wanted to keep fighting sort of thing." So a lot of question marks going into this. And Thug just lost her belt in the worst fight in the UFC history, maybe? Worst title fight in UFC history for certain. You know, no doubt on that one. She's still Thug Rose. She's going up a weight class, coming off of that terrible fight, coming off of that grappling, match with Jillian Robertson that she got submitted in the first, I don't even know how long, minute, 2 minutes. A lot of question marks. A lot of things that are scary here. And she's fighting an absolute beast in Manon Fiorot. I don't know if that's how you say her name. She's from Nice, France. She's a badass, 10-1. She's beaten, let's check out her past 5 wins. Caitlin Chikagian, dog. Jennifer Maia, dog. Myra Bueno Silva, dog. Tabitha Ritchie, dog. So she's got wins that are really, really good. The one thing she doesn't have, and it's kind of going to be my point for Rose here, is Rose has stopping power. None of those girls that Manon has beaten have stopping power. None of them have the ability to sting you, and none of them have the ability to land a punch that will end the entire fight, or a kick, which Rose does have. She knocked out Weili Zhang, which we've seen take some absolute beatings in her UFC career. So for me, Thug Rose is gonna have to come in here, and she's gonna have to sting her. She's gonna have to sting her, stick and move. But as sad as it makes me to say, I don't think she's going to be able to pull this one off. I think Manon is going to be too much for her. It's a 3-round fight. Rose is going up a weight class. I think Manon's going to push her against the cage, keep her on her back foot, land heavy combinations. I don't know if Rose's head is in it. I don't know if Rose's stopping power, or, punching ability to put stinging blows on her opponents is going to come up and transfer well at 125. So I'm going with Manon Fiorot. It hurts. I don't want to. She's minus 185, and I won't bet that, because I think Rose, this fight probably should be lined about right where it is. I don't think there's much of an edge here. I think Manon probably comes out, wins 3 rounds against Rose, and I think it'll be sad, and I'll be a little bit butthurt about it. I just think it's a bad career move for Rose. She's actually younger here. I don't think she should be going up a weight class. I think she should be getting a tune-up fight at 115 and then fighting Weili Zhang again. She probably beats Weili Zhang again. Who knows? We don't really know. But for me, I'm going to pick Manon. I'll be cheering for Rose, but Manon will be the pick, sadly. Tim, tell me why Manon's going to knock her out.
Well, first of all, I think she can finish her. I'm very curious to see how she handles getting hit from Manon, just for the simple fact that she is so clean and crisp on her feet. The punches from her are gonna sting a lot more, I think.
I agree.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Rose from what I got, and Pat Barry had a couple interviews, that she wasn't sure if she wanted to fight again, especially after the Carla Esparza fight. She wasn't sure if she wanted to fight again. That was a terrible fight. And now you're moving up, going against a pure striker. I don't think that's a great idea, right? I don't think she is being as active as she needs to be.
I agree.
She last fought a year ago. Before that, she had she had the win over Whaley, and then a little bit less than a year before that, she had the other win, the head nice head kick. But before that, she's almost fighting once every year. It's not consistent, and I don't know what's going on with her. She is a head case. I'm not laying anything on this. I think she could get put out if she's just not mentally there and can't handle the upgrade in power. But it's also Rose. She might walk in there saying crazy shit, and next thing you know,
Knocks
Rose
her
is
out.
is on her. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I'm more interested to see where this puts the winner as we go ahead with this division and the current shakeup of what's going on. Um,
Maybe they'll get an Aaron Blanchfield fight. Winner of this, Aaron Blanchfield. Winner of that gets
no,
Grasso or Valentina.
no, no. They're gonna get it ready for Valentina to if she wins to get Blanchfield. I think. Um, But yeah, I don't see a path to victory for Rose unless she tries to go grapple heavy.
She could. She
You
has
know what I
good
mean?
grappling. I mean, she's
Yeah,
she's
she's
decent.
got she's got that's most of her wins are submission wins. I think that is going to be um I think that's what she's going to have to do. I mean, she's got five wins by submission on her record, and you know granted, Manon hasn't been subbed. Um, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
It's a
I
tough
think this is
fight.
something we're just. It is a tough fight. There's keys to victory for each of the women. I just think getting from a weight class above is going to be a big difference. I think that's going to be a big 10 pounds. Um, in a weight move that she's making. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the weight. I mean, the weight's gonna be big because Manon is thick too. Like she has like a thick torso, and that
That's
translates well.
yeah, and she is so good on the feet. So
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough. I don't know if Rose can hang in there, but we'll see. This is kind of one of the things where you enjoy. I'm not taking money line on it. I'm not taking by anyone by finish, nothing like that. This will be a nice one for me to just watch and see how Rose looks and kind of if she kind of looks stinky, I'll fade the shit out of her.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think it's tough because Rose comes in on a good night and she, puts it on Weili Zhang, puts it on Joanna Young Jacek, which are the other two best strawweight fighters of all time. And so it's like on a good night, Rose is a potential all time great, but on a bad night, Rose is a potential scrub. Like she just sometimes doesn't look like she wants to be in there. And if she comes in flat
Yeah,
like that, Manon's gonna put her on the back foot and probably flurry her out of there. Like she's gonna land
yeah,
just I don't know what it'll be, but a combo of some sort, and Rose will probably cover up, and the ref will probably stop it on a bad night. Good night, Rose can hang with anybody. So we're just gonna have to see. That's all it's gonna come down to.
yeah, yeah. And you know what it is too. It'll be a lot easier for man to get a finish if Rose figures out that halfway through the first round she doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Um, so that's something as well. Hopefully, we'll find out. Um, leading up to it. A little bit more info, see how she is. But yeah, and it's a home fight too. I mean,
I
yeah,
know.
I'm
That's the
gonna,
hard part.
yeah, I might sprinkle a little bit of a finish, but I don't know. I gotta see how they look at face off.
Oh, we got another banger here. This is the other one I'm excited for. You got any hot takes to kick us off, Tim?
Um, Other than our guy, um, Benoit Saint Denis hooked it up for us on that nice underdog win over Bonfim. Um, but he's going up um, against Thiago Moises. I think this is a fight to keep Benoit rolling. Um, what are your thoughts on it? Because I'm still kind of up in the air, back and forth. That's the hard thing with this card. A lot of these fights, they're up in the air, they're back and forth. So technically, on paper, these fights should be amazing, but we shall see. This is, oh man, I
Yeah,
don't
man.
who are you looking at um right off the rip.
Yeah, dude, the odds stick out to me here for Moises because on DraftKings he is plus 140 right now, and that sticks out to me as maybe the silly line of the week. I think what we're seeing here is a bit of a market overcorrection for Benoit Saint Denis. I love Benoit Saint Denis. I think he's a beast. You know, we backed him against Bonfim, and he went out and killed it. He went out, took him down after landing 10 unanswered body kicks, and then strangled him. Quick, easy, surgical. It looked great. He was plus 250, plus 300, and we nailed it. We had him there. It was perfect. Now the market is pricing him as a minus 160 favorite over a guy who has only lost to top 15 lightweights. Let's go look at Moises' record here. And this is going to be kind of where I start my spiel because I think this might be my dog of the week. So he's lost to Joel Alvarez, who was a top 15 lightweight at the time. Islam Makhachev, the champion. And if you go back and watch that fight, which I did today, pretty much 2 hours right before this, he made Islam work for that. It was not an easy fight for Islam. You know, Islam obviously dominated the fight and won the fight, but Moises was not going out there and getting, you know, Dan Hookered or Bobby Greened. He wasn't he
Yeah.
wasn't able to do what he was able to do against those other guys, you know. So Moises was putting up a fight. Moises was landing some strikes here and there. Then he lost to Damir Ismagulov, who was essentially a top 10 guy and then got old very quick. Benil Dariush, you know, guy was on a winning streak like no one else. And then before that, it was LFA, and he was, I think in 2016 he was how young does that make him? That makes him 20 or 21. So he has wins over Kurt Hollabaugh. He has wins over Michael Johnson, Bobby Green, Alexander Hernandez, and then he has two tune-up wins here over Christos Giagos and Costa, who has the crazy hair. And I just think, you know, in this point in both of their careers, I think Thiago Moises is the more polished striker, and I also think he's the better grappler. Saint Denis is going to have the advantage wrestling. That's going to be what he has to do for 3 rounds. He's going to have to wrestle, and he's going to have to be successful with takedowns. Thiago Moises was doing pretty good in the wrestling against Islam Makhachev. So if we think that Benoit Saint Denis is Islam Makhachev level of wrestling, then that's an easy minus 160 slam. I don't think he is. I think he beat Bonfim, and I think he beat Gabriel Miranda and Nicholas Stolze. I don't think he's beaten anyone who put up much of a fight in the wrestling. Moises is going to put up a fight in the wrestling, and then once they get to the mat, Moises is going to put up quite the grappling threat against Saint Denis. From the guard, Moises is good. If Moises gets on top, he's even better. So I think Moises, gonna put Benoit Saint Denis in some tough spots when it comes to the wrestling and grappling. And I also think Moises is a better striker. Benoit Saint Denis throws a lot of, crazy powerful, those kicks we saw. Other than that, he's pretty partial to throwing hooks on the feet. Moises is a little bit straighter. He's also a little bit better with the footwork. Benoit Saint Denis is just a junkyard dog. He's coming at you. He's going to throw some hooks and throw some digs. Moises is going to be a little tighter, a little bit more about the footwork. And I think that that's going to do well for him here. That's what we saw. I think it's Zaleski, who is actually a very underrated fighter. Guy has a win over, Sean Strickland. So Zaleski is a really underrated fighter, so it's not a bad loss for Benoit Saint Denis. But I think Moises he's kind of the guy here, I think, for me this week. Plus 140. I think he's a better grappler, and I think he's a better striker. It just comes down to, can he stop the wrestling? Is his takedown defense on par? He's at American Top Team. I don't have any doubts about the work he's getting at American Top Team. So for me, it's going to be Moises, and it's going to be Moises probably by decision. I could see a submission, but unlikely, more so decision. So Moises probably moneyline plus 140 is going to be my biggest spot of the week.
So when he beat Bonfim, I think first of all he was in some bad spots, but I think the Terrence McKinney hype and then McKinney losing by a flying knee. I think that kind of put, that was the Bonfim brothers,
Yeah.
you know, first of all, I think Ismail's brother is better, to be honest with you. Um, but I think we looked at that finish and put too much into him, and that's why he fought Benoit Saint Denis. Um, and granted he had more experience than Benoit, but I think that like you said, this is going to be um, a lot tougher. You're going to have he's going up against another more experienced guy, right?
This is a top
Uh,
10 guy. Moises is legitimately possibly a top 10 guy.
I I think he just has more experience in the UFC fighting higher level opponents that he's not gonna make any silly mistakes or any stupid mistakes. You know, Alvarez and Makachev. I mean,
Dogs. Absolute dogs.
yeah, yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. I might hammer Moises then.
I think it's going to be worth. Let me see if they have the line out yet. If there's a Moises by submission and it's like over plus 400, I think that might be worth adding. Let me look at it. Moises by submission is plus 400. So that's really not a bad bet either. I'd probably take some money line and then stack a little bit of sub on there, because if Benoit Saint Denis shoots like a lousy takedown on him, Moises is gonna wrap something up before Saint Denis can even blink.
Yeah, and for nothing, I like the fact that Saint Denis is taller. He's got a bigger reach. So obviously, if the guy is taller and his limbs are longer, um, it's just more stuff for you to wrap up. So
And rip
yeah,
off,
I'm
baby.
I'm I'm with you on that one.
I like it. That's gonna be my dog of the week, because I have a couple other dogs. Because Sergey Spivak was my first dog, but I'm not confident enough to have any sort of money on that. Speaking of another dog here, this is an interesting underdog opportunity here. We got the Russian wave. We got Pavlovich at heavyweight, and now we have Guskov coming in off of a whole bunch of first round knockouts here at light heavyweight, and he's taking on a number 11 light heavyweight in the world, Volkan Ozdemir. What are you thinking, Tim?
Yeah. I'm thinking honestly that Bogdan, is that how you say his first name?
I think so. Yep.
Bogdan Guskov. Um, I think he's gonna get another knockout finish. To be honest with you, I, for some reason, I mean, this guy, Volkan Ozdemir, I mean, not for nothing, got knocked out with a right from Yuri Prohaska.
My boy.
I mean, who's who's a wild man. But he does have a win over Rakic. It was a split decision, so obviously one judge had him winning that fight. But he lost to Krylov, Ankalaev. Um, he has a win against Paul Craig, but we saw that Paul Craig went down. Paul Craig is now down a weight and looks phenomenal. So I'm gonna have to go with the dog here. This might be a card where you parlay a Guskov, a Moises, and a Spivak, and just absolutely hit a dinger. Um, yeah, I same height for the most part. 6'3", 6'2". I just think the kid from Uzbekistan. Um, I think he's got the power, man. He's got the power, and it wouldn't surprise me if he got Uzdemir out there and quick.
Here's something stupid, Tim. The Bogdan Guskov to win by knockout is plus 225. I think that's a terrible line. I think that's his only chance to win here. I think if he does not knock out Volkan, I think Volkan just probably paces him for 3 rounds because we don't know Guskov. I watched one of his fights on YouTube, and he was breathing pretty heavy after about a minute of the fight. And I don't know, maybe he's just one of those guys, those Dricus Duplessis guys who breathe hard for the entire fight. But for the most part, I think he's going to swing heavy. He's going to have to connect in the first round, and if he does not connect, he's probably gonna be on the
Yeah,
losing end. He's probably gonna be the nail to Vulcan's hammer. But I'll go Guskov too, and I'm gonna go Guskov by knockout. I think that plus 225 is pretty sweet, honestly here.
yeah. I think and here, oh man, it's tough. I don't understand um how Ozdemir. I mean, but it's also one of the things. When I say I don't understand how he takes that pattern every time he kind of steps up, he loses. Um, and is this something maybe they think they can get him right here? But at the same time, is it do they care, or are they trying to bring up the younger guy, or not the younger guy? They're pretty much the same age, but are they trying to bring up somebody new?
Yeah, they could be. I mean, they could be trying to give a big ol' European showcase to Guskov. It also could
I
just be a gift to Ozdemir. Who knows? We're gonna find out a lot about Guskov here. I think
here's the
personally.
thing. Like this kid's got, kid. No, he's not a kid, but this guy's got 12 knockouts and 2 subs. He's
Yeah,
he's a finisher. So I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna win by a finish. I think he's gonna knock him out, like you said. 30 years old. He's probably gonna come in ripped, uh, unbelievably, and I think he's gonna really put it on Ozdemir, and we're gonna see that Swiss milk bag body that Ozdemir comes in at weigh-ins, and it's not even gonna be close.
yeah, and Guskov is gonna be. His head's gonna be the size of Jupiter, coming off of I think it's like 4 straight first round finishes. So the guy's gonna be
He's
fucking ready to go in that first round.
Yeah, he's gonna drop the hammer on him. So I think this one's gonna be when it's Vulcan no time Ozdemir. I think he's gonna be out of there in no time.
I agree. Someone else is gonna be tapping their arm for the watch, and I don't think it's gonna be Ozdemir. All right,
Yeah.
now we're kind of
See,
getting
that's what I'm
into
saying.
the what's
This is what I'm talking about. These fights, they are so good on paper.
Yeah.
I really hope that some of these come through because they should be very, very close fights. Obviously, everybody wants to see finishes, but I also want to see a beautiful finish in a dogfight or highly skilled grappling or um, competitive wrestling, chain wrestling, and seeing guys grind it out. So we shall see. But yeah, now we're kind of getting to where it's I think just a showcase on some of these other guys here.
Yeah, these are some interesting fights. They just put some of these together like yesterday, I believe. And so we've got two French guys fighting each other. We got Jaguar William Gomis versus Yanis the Desert Warrior Jamori. And let me check the odds here just to make sure because they don't have the odds on here. So William Gomis is minus 250 here. He's got the UFC C caliber wins. He beat Francis Marshall, and he also beat Jarno Aarons. And then Yanis is coming out of Brave with no UFC experience, and that's just going to be the difference here. It's just going to be William Gomis for me. No interest in betting this. I'll watch to see if either of them are good prospects, but I'll pick Gomis, and I'll just enjoy the fight from a fan perspective, I think. That's what I've got, Tim.
Yeah, he's fighting out of Gomis. Was he MMA factory?
Yep.
So he's fighting out of the Gane gym. Nasruddin Mavov is in there as well. I think I'm with you on this. I think the UFC experience, um, Jarno Aaron's win. I mean, I, the only thing I'm not sure about is is Giannis coming out of the Middle East, fighting now in France. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think Gomis should win, but at the same time, um, I just kind of want to see where these guys are, see if we can kind of find some edge going forward when they fight again. But you're also looking at a pretty big um, difference in height. You're looking at a 6 foot Gomis and a 5'9" Giannis, and they don't even have a reach for Giannis. So
And an experience difference too. Gomis just has the UFC experience.
yeah, yeah, and we know what happens when you get some of these guys in there. So yeah, I'm good with just watching this one, um, and then kind of waiting to see. I can't believe this card. This is the only thing that I don't like. There's not a lot of star power, and there's not a lot of fights. They only have 11 fights on this card.
I know it is. It's a thin card, and they just put two of them together yesterday. So
Yeah,
yesterday there was 9 fights.
yeah. I mean, hey, it is what it is. They gotta put everything together. It gives us something to complain about and hit Twitter
Oh
and
yeah.
say this, that, and the other thing weekly. So
If you're not bitching, you're not caring. That's what they say,
that's
Tim.
right. Yeah, that's what they say now, huh?
That's what the kids say nowadays.
That's what they're saying. All right, so here's a good one. This
All
one,
right.
I'm gonna sprinkle a little on this. Morgan Charrier
The Last
versus
Pirate.
Manolo Zucchini, right?
Yep, out of
Sounds
Jackson Wink.
that's exactly. So technically, we have Charrier um, coming out of Cage Warriors. Um, he's coming off 2 stoppage wins. right? I think I think this kid though, who's the year younger, coming fighting out of you know Jackson Wink. He's his obviously his main gym is something else at plus 235. And when you compare somebody that's record is 11-3, has the gym Jackson Wink attached to him. He's got nine knockouts, one sub, one decision. So he's a finisher. And then you're going against a guy that has already dropped. He's 50% realistically. He's 8-9-1. So
18 9
technically,
and 1.
18. Sorry, 18-9-1. So technically, he's not even 50%. He. I'm sorry. He is 50%.
Still a
But
lot of
you see,
losses. That's still 2
that's
losses in every 4 fights.
yeah.
Or fuck, dude, we can't do math. Math is
Nobody
fucking
can do
hard,
that.
man.
So technically, he's got a lot of losses.
Yeah, that's
The
all you
nine
guys need to
losses
know.
gives me pause for concern. So to have um, his record that he does, he's lost 3 decisions in Cage Warriors and he's got 6 wins. So that right there, I mean, I think for his record to be 18-9, and apparently he's a Cage Warriors champ, right? To be 18-9 and then to be favored by as much as he is, I think that's insane. I think that is insane. So I'm gonna go with Zucchini, the Italian stallion,
The zucchini,
right? The
baby.
Italian dream version 2.
The Italian stallion. Yeah, I'm probably going to pile on with you there. And the reason is, and again, this is another situation where I don't know if I'll have much of a bet on it. It's a situation I want to watch both these guys and really see, what we're working with before I feel comfortable fading or betting on. But for me, we know Italian guys have great chins. That's it's just kind of in their blood for some reason.
We know
And
one. We know one.
we know like 25. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But he only has one knockout loss. And I think Morgan, the last pirate, is going to have to knock him out because Morgan, the last pirate, loses decisions. 8 of his 9 losses are by decision. And so if we go to the scorecards, it's going to get real dicey for Morgan, the last pirate. So, I think he's plus 275 on DraftKings. A little sprinkle on him. Can't go wrong with it. I'm talking about Zucchini, by the way. A little sprinkle
Yeah,
on Zucchini here. I think you're good to go. Plus 275. If you lose it, you lost on a plus 275 dog. Who the fuck cares?
here's something else too. Uh, this kid, um, Morgan Charrier, he last fought a month ago, and before that he fought 4 months ago, and before that he fought 9 months ago, and before that a year and 10 months ago. So in the last 9 months, he's cut weight 3 times. Most recently, a month, and right before that, 4 months ago. So he's been cutting weight quite often. The one from 9 months ago, that doesn't bother me, but the one where it's 4 months and then he gets it to another month, that would make me concerned. But the fact that he just did it a month ago is a pause for concern for me.
I agree.
That's my opinion. So, but yeah, you throw a dart on Zucchini and see what happens. You don't have to go crazy,
Yeah.
but there's no way I think he should be a minus 305 favorite.
Wonder what him by decision is. If it's plus 500, then that's a fucking sweet bet. It is plus 500. It sounded like I looked these up before, but I promise I didn't. plus 500 on Zucchini by decision. Let's go look at exactly how many of his wins are by decision. Yeah, so 9 of his wins are by decision, and then the last Pirate, 8 of his 9 losses are by decision. So seems like that would be the outcome. That would be the winning outcome for Manolo Zucchini.
Yeah.
Oh man, here's what everyone on Twitter is touting as the next Conor McGregor this week, because there's a new Irish fighter every single week. So it's Taylor Lapalus versus, oh man, Cowlin Lauran. Butchered that one, I know I did. They're bantamweights, and this should be a banger. Undefeated versus, in my opinion, very, very underrated guy for someone who has not fought in the UFC. We can go look at his wins. He's got some solid wins here.
Yeah, this is see now we were just talking about how um the fight before this, the heavy favorite was coming out of Cage Warriors 6-3. This kid's coming out of Cage Warriors 4-0 with all finishes.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be Colin Loughran, or Colin Loughran. I think, that being said, with this kid's record, the hype behind him, um, I think the Cage Warriors experience is better than fighting in Aries. Uh, and I know I kind of shit on Cage Warriors before with Morgan Charrier, but I don't think I don't think this is going to be anything short of a first round stoppage. To be honest with you, I think they bring this kid in, shine him up, get that Ireland crowd. If there's one there should be. They got a couple guys fighting from Ireland. Get the people fired up, get Connor tweeting, and bring in some eyes to the venue. So yeah, I don't even know. Do they even have odds on this yet?
Yeah, so Colin on the money line is plus 140.
What?
Yep, Cowlin on the money line is plus 140 right now, and the other guy is minus 170.
I don't see how. I honestly I don't see how.
I'll tell you, Tim.
Um,
I'll tell you here. He's fighting out at MMA Factory, and he has wins over Wilson Rice and Nate Maness, who are 2 UFC dogs. Nate Maness, isn't as credentialed as Wilson Rice, but Wilson Rice, that's the Wilson Rice that challenged for a title against Demetrius Johnson. And that's Nate Maness, who was undefeated at the time and is coming off of losses to, Umar Nurmagomedov and Tagir Ulanbekov, who are 2 great guys, but I got to win over Tony Gravely. Got to win over Johnny Munoz. So this guy's not bad. The one who Colin's fighting. But this is going to keep me off of him. The Ireland out of Cage Warriors hype is fucking real. When they send dudes through Cage Warriors and they have less than 10 wins on their record, for some reason, those Irish fighters are dogs. I don't know what it is. There's been like 5 of them, Conor McGregor being one of them. There's been like 5 of them, and they're just dogs. So I'm not fading this Cowlin guy. I think that this Taylor guy is a much better fighter than people are really giving him credit for, because I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, picking the Cowlin side or Colin side. But he's the favorite here, and I don't really want to pick the favorite in this sort of a fight. So, I'm going to probably pick Taylor Lapalus, but I'll be watching the Dawn here. I'm going to be watching to see if this guy can get it done, because if he can get it done in impressive fashion, we might have an Irish star on our hands.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to see them bring in this kid and have him go up and not get him hyped up and ready. He also just fought 3 months ago, so he just cut weight 3 months ago.
Yep.
Before that was 9 months, so that makes me feel better. He had a little six month gap. I mean, the 3 months, 3 weeks, so almost 4 months ago. I mean, it's not too bad, but also um, Taylor Lapillus, he hasn't fought in almost a year and a half.
Yeah.
So we shall see. You got a kid that can crack right out the gate, and somebody that has to kind of shake it off for a year. Um, that's tough. That's real tough. Not fighting for over a year and then making your UFC debut against a kid that's a stud out of Ireland,
Yeah, man,
and
and
he's on.
the kid has wins over some all right opponents. Although his first two fights, his opponent was 0-31 and 0-39.
Listen, listen. Who cares? This series doesn't make. Khabib was fighting cans anyway.
Bro,
So
I think me and you could beat Will. Look at this guy. Oh my gosh, he's been found by Tapology to have engaged in activities which do not conform to combat sports standards. I think we could probably beat him. What about this guy? Reese, same thing. This guy's been thrown. They've been throwing fights, both of them. Damn,
uh,
losing streak. Look at this. The streak. 43 losses. It might be time to retire, bud. It might be time to retire, bucko. What about
why?
this one? What is this guy's streak? Oh, 9 losses. He got a win 9 fights ago. He got his first MMA win 9 fights ago, Tim.
Well,
Damn. But then, I mean, he beat this guy who's 10-3, 9-0, 5-0. So he's got 3 wins over opponents who have won fights. So it's not like he's completely crushing only cans.
well, not for nothing. The Cage Warriors isn't putting guys in there. Um,
Jeez, bro, 0-39.
yeah, that's pretty. That's terrible. That's terrible. They're
My
not. They're
God.
not putting guys. They're not putting guys in there. But I'll tell you what I do like. I do like this round two streak that he is on. One, two, three, four. Um, 4 fights that he's winning in round two in a row, all by stoppage. So, and they're all ground and pound punches. So that might be something to keep an eye on. But yeah, I like him by finish.
All right. Cool, cool. I got a strong opinion on this next one. All right,
All right,
so this is another Irish guy, and
Reese.
this could be an Irish parlay here, Tim. Um, for me, I'm gonna keep this one quick, but this is probably my second favorite bet on the card, and it's gonna be our boy Skeletor. It's gonna be our boy Skeletor here. Uh, Angelusa, bundle of muscle. Guy's a bundle of muscle, but the guy has to get Reese McKee out of here first round, or I think Reese McKee takes over. And he's an underdog here. He's plus 150. He's plus 150. He's coming off of 3 nice wins. He got some Cage Warrior wins where he was getting a tune-up fight because he lost
Yep.
to Hazmat Chimaev in his debut. Imagine drawing Chimaev as your debut. And then he loses to
Yeah.
Alex Morono, who Morono's a dog. There's absolutely zero, shame in losing to Morono. He's my favorite overweight fighter in the UFC. I love Alex Morono. I bet on him every single fight. But yeah, I just think Reese McKee, he is 6'2", 78-inch reach. Angelusa is 5'10", 64-inch reach. We saw him lose to Manir Luzez, who is also taller and a little bit of a rangier striker. And I think Reese McKee's got the same path. I watched the Manir, the what is his name? Manir Luzez fight today, and I saw him pumping his jab. I saw him throwing leg kicks. And I think Reese McKee can follow that exact blueprint, and Lusa's going to slow down. And I think it's going to be a perfect spot for McKee to get a second or third round finish. Honestly, that's going to be my take, and I'm going to be on the money line of plus 150. And maybe maybe we do a Colin Lowry and Reese McKee parlay here, a little bit of Irish love on the Paris card.
Yeah, yeah. I do like that. I'm with you on Reese McKee. Um, the only thing is I don't know how much he's at. Los is at Killcliff, and that gym is phenomenal. That's the only thing, um, that gives me pause. But I think, like you said, he's a legit bundle of muscle. Um, he's on a win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Whereas right now, McKee was on a skid, like you said, but Chimaev and Morono, and then he's been stringing them together, and he's been looking good. So granted, that's in Cage Wars, but he kind of had to reset and bring it back. Um, he's not coming back to a Kamzat, right? We all know that. So I think he's going to stay on the outside and just try and piece him up. He's got the 4 inch reach advantage. He's got the 4 inch height advantage. So I think that's going to be his path to victory. Stay on the outside, box him up, keep him at distance, um, and just try and touch him. Don't throw crazy heavy hard shots, and it'll happen for
I
him.
agree. He just has to survive that first round. Like that first round
He
is
got
going to be
spread out first.
dangerous.
Exactly. He's gonna be throwing. He's gonna be throwing heaters, right? But we all know what happens when you throw, and if you're not making contact, it's exhausting. So that is going to be the thing where Reese is going to have to watch out. But he doesn't. He hasn't had. When's this guy's last knockout though? He's a decision machine. 2016.
Yeah.
So
Yup.
come on. I don't think unless Reese McKee does something stupid, I don't see him getting outpointed. Um, but yeah, I mean, come on. He's a decision guy, so all he has to do is just point him up, and like you said, survive that first round.
Yeah, because Lusa is definitely going to slow down there. No questions asked. All right. Oh, I'm going to keep this one real short and real sweet. I think Jocelyn Edwards probably wins this fight. This girl, I don't think has many good wins here. I was looking at her resume. I didn't even watch any of her fights. She fought someone who's 4-2, which was, I believe, the best record. And then the fight right before that, 6 months ago, she fought someone who had never fought before. And then she fought someone who was 12-10. And then she fought someone who was 1-0. And then she fought someone who was 2-0. And Jocelyn Edwards has three UFC caliber wins here, and that's going to be enough for me. That's the entire breakdown for me. Jocelyn Edwards 3 UFC caliber wins, and this French woman, has been brushing up against cans, and she even has a loss. So shame on her. You're getting this fight because you're in this card is in France. Jocelyn Edwards is gonna put it on you.
Um, Most likely you're right, uh, but at the same time, is you look at this, um, and she's another Pantera. You just love the Panteras.
I guess. Man. La Pantera.
Um, her Jocelyn Edwards lost to Carol Rosa and my girl Jessica Rose Clark. Um, Carol Rosa is a decision machine, um, right? But then you have somebody like Jessica Rose Clark who is much better stand up. Now here's the thing. I don't know if she hasn't made weight in her last 2 fights.
Edwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she comes in. Um, this might be a punishment. Maybe they think this girl could put her out. Um, Most likely she's gonna win, right? But it wouldn't surprise me um, if something. I mean, 135. There is no 145 class. Yeah, this, if you want to sprinkle this Nora Cornoli by
Cornoli. That's a crazy
by
last name, dude.
I don't even know if that's her last name. If you want to sprinkle something on her to win by knockout, she is a finisher. Granted, she's fighting, you know, nobodies, but she's got, all of her wins come by finish. She's fighting in the UAE Warriors, so three
At
fights, three
least
finishes.
she doesn't have someone on her record who was 0 and 42.
No, um,
At least.
no, but I'm not impressed with. I've tried fading her the last four fights since she fought Jessica Rose Clark. I only hit on the Jessica Rose Clark, but you know what? I'm gonna fade her again.
Dude, she
I'm gonna.
lost that last fight, too. I was in Kansas
Yeah,
City for that last fight, and that was a robbery.
yeah, that was Pudilova.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna fade her again. She just fought 3 months ago, right? And she didn't make weight then. How the hell is she gonna make weight now?
I don't know. And somehow she's the number 11 bantamweight in the world.
Okay, come on.
Yeah, come on,
Are
it's right.
we are we doing this? They need to have one female promotion
They,
because there's so many girls that are actually legit, but they're all kind of spread, between UFC and Bellator and a couple in PFL. Some of those other, in one. Oh God, if you get some of those girls, like you get like a stamp Fairtex in the UFC. Oh, that'd
yeah,
be
dude.
that'd be amazing. I'm not saying
Pacheco,
in this. Yeah, not this. Well, she's a 145er.
that'd be
145.
badass, dude. I'd love to see her in
One
the
fit. No,
UFC.
she's actually 155. She fights at 155.
Pacheco does? Oh yeah, cause she's Kayla. Is it Kayla Harrison?
Yeah. So, but you have so many girls. I would love to have them consolidated. Either that, or we got to get more girls into MMA.
Yeah, man,
You
I'm
know,
super cool with if Pacheco and Harrison came over having a 155 for women's. I have
that's it
no.
though. That's it. Nobody else is fighting 155.
There'd be
And if
there'd be a
they
couple
do,
others, I bet, but
no man, it'll be just like the PFL. The same 6 people fighting each other.
yeah, true. It would be. It'd be like yeah, everyone would be in the top 10.
They just made a division up for Amanda Nunes to make her fake champ. So that's for another time. That's
Yeah.
for another time. So this is what I'm real interested on where you're going. Um, Farid Basharat versus Cledson Rodriguez. Take it away.
All right, man. This is my third favorite spot on the card. So I love Thiago Moises as my number one bet. I like Reese McKee as my number two bet. And my number three bet is going to be on Cledson Rodriguez. And Basharat is a dog. Basharat, his grappling, that's going to be his path to victory here, is the grappling. But if you pull up Cledson Rodriguez on DraftKings right now, he is plus 275. Farid Basharat is minus 350. And Basharat just won a close decision against Damon Blackshear, who is a beast. But I think Cledson Rodriguez could be the real deal. Guy is 27 years old. Basharat's 26, so they're both young guys. But Cledson Rodriguez has first round finishing power. And that's kind of what I'm going to be going off here. Almost plus 300. We could see plus 300 come fight night before, maybe Friday, maybe Thursday, whatever it is. We could see plus 300 on this guy, and I think he's got the skills to put Farid Basharat away. Basharat's going to grapple. That's going to have to be his path here because I don't think he's going to have as much success on the feet as he thinks he's going to. And Cledson Rodriguez is going up a weight class. And I'm always much happier when fighters go up a weight class than when they go down a weight class, for the most part, because you get a stronger chin, you get a little more power on your punches. You might have a little height disadvantage and reach, which is actually what's happening here. He's at a height and reach disadvantage, but the guy has some Muay Thai chops. You go watch his last two fights. He fought CJ Vergara, lost. How long ago was that? Let me go look. So yeah, a year ago, he was 26 years old. He lost to CJ Vergara. CJ Vergara is not great, but CJ Vergara is not bad. CJ Vergara is the definition of mid. Not a great loss. It was a close fight. He got out grappled. I'm thinking he went back to the drawing board, shored up some takedown defense, and he's going to have it on point for this fight because Basharat is going to have to grapple here, in my opinion. He's going to have to go for those takedowns. He's going to have to go for, honestly, probably a submission because I don't think with the fight starting on the feet every single round, I think Cledson Rodriguez is the real deal on the feet, and I think he's getting rapidly better between every single fight. And his other win was Shannon Ross, and I didn't even take much from that because Shannon Ross is a fucking scrub. Like, I think I could throw like I don't even know, probably a pencil at Shannon Ross and he might fall over. The dude doesn't know how to stay on his feet when it comes to fights. He got knocked out in one punch in his last fight. And Cledson Rodriguez pretty much did the same thing. But Cledson Rodriguez, he has a look when he punches. The technique paired with the speed of his punches was terrifying. It was something that I saw also on the Contender series this week with the Prates kid. Prates kid, dog. Prates kid is going to be someone to watch at welterweight. And I think Cledson Rodriguez here is going to be someone to watch going forward. I'm a fan of him. He's my pick here. If you can get plus 300 on him, you can't go wrong with plus 300. I think you can do plus 300, and you can also do him by KO when it comes out, and I bet you it'll be plus 600 or better. You can't go wrong with plus 600 for this guy's only real finishing, or only real winning percentage. Because if he does not finish Basharat, he's probably getting grapple fucked round 3. He's probably getting grapple fucked end of round 2. It's going to be first round, first 2 minutes of the second round. And that's probably going to be the fight for Rodriguez. I'm just real high on the kid's striking. And it's going to be a real interesting fight. I think it's going to be one that we're going to either find out if Cledson is the guy, and I'm just going to kind of front run that and say he is. I think he's going to be that guy, that's going to take out the Basharat hype train here because Farid is not his older brother. His older brother is a much better fighter, and this is kind of the same situation as the Bonfim brothers. We got the older brother who's an absolute fucking savage, younger brother who's a good fighter, but maybe not having the skill set that the older brother, the bigger brother has. I think with Gabriel, he's actually younger than the small one. Yeah. But Farid is younger. He's not as polished as Javid, and also he doesn't have as cool of a nickname. His nickname is only Ferocious. So I'm going Cledson Rodriguez. Plus 300, like I said, it's just the price paired with, I think, the upside of this kid. I really think that this could be a spot that when we look back on it in a year and he has another win under his belt, it could be like, wow, I can't believe we didn't bet him against Farid Basharat. So I'm betting him. I'm betting him by knockout, and I'm betting his money line. Like I said, it's going to be my least, confident bet of the card because Moises is the most confident, then Reese McKee, and then this one. But I do really, really like this kid's upside. So that's what I got, Tim.
All right. So he went up a weight class because he couldn't make 125.
He was struggling. Yep.
He was struggling. And he's pulled out of fights. He can't make weight for fights. And they're going to feed this kid to Tatsuro Taira.
Yep.
I think Basharat is going to submit him, and I don't even think it's going to be anything crazy. I think Basharat's going to go in there. He's going to take him down and then probably just choke him out. I he pulled out of a contender series fight. He's not disciplined enough to make weight. This is just like the fight before the La Pantera. I There's a work ethic, and with that work ethic, you get what you put into it. So he missed the Tyra weight by 4 pounds, and then when he beat Shannon Ross, that was 2 pounds.
Yep.
So it's not like it's a half a pound we're talking here. So where is this kid's discipline? I don't think I don't think he has it. And I think Basharat is going to go in there, stick to the game plan, get him down, and choke him out. Let's see how this kid even looks on the scales. Hopefully he makes weight. He should make weight. We know he can get down to at least 127. You know, but I don't know. They were going to feed him to Tyra, so that to me makes me think that we'll see if we can do it a little bit more subtle and get him up to Basharat and see what happens. But I think Basharat's going to sub him. I think he's not his brother. He's undefeated. He is on a tear. And he's just subbing. He's on a submission tear right now. So that's why I'm gonna have to um, go with him. Granted, Blackshear and the uh, contenders, right? Those were both decisions. Uh, but Blackshear just had a twister, right?
Blackshear's a beast. He
Yeah,
deserves a lot of respect. That's a
right.
good fighter.
But when you go past that, all of his how many subs does he have? He's got 5 subs, 1 knockout, and 4 decisions. I think he's going to take the advantage of going on the ground. So I could see it easily, Basharat by submission. To be honest with you,
That's what
I think he's going to get. I
I
think he's going to gas Cledson out.
I don't disagree with you. I think that's why I think Rodriguez he's gonna have to get a finish early in the fight, or he's probably gonna get wrestle fucked. Um,
With that problem, you already know he's not disciplined enough to make weight. So what kind of condition is he gonna be in?
I
Where
think he's
he's
gonna be in a
gonna
better condition, to be
I
honest.
don't what there just no, you're not fixing the problem. You're putting a band-aid on. You're like, well, I can't. You know what? Let me just go up a weight class instead of figuring out what the problem is.
Yeah,
Is it the work ethic? Does he not care?
is he
Is
just
he
too
not?
big? That's the other thing too. Is he just might be just damn too big? Because he's
He's five.
thick.
He's he's 5'6".
Yeah, he is. He's short, but he's thick. He's got a lot of muscle on his
He's
frame.
thick because he can't make weight.
That is true. You're gonna be surprised when he knocks out Fareed in the first round, Tim.
If he does, listen, I'll be surprised if he can make weight. If he can make weight,
He's
and
making 135.
you
He's
know,
making
if
135
he can
pounds.
make if he can make weight and show up on time, I'll be impressed.
All right,
I think that
gentlemen's bet that he makes weight and shows up on time. I think he does.
I
You
hope
have
to
to pat
God.
me on the shoulder if he doesn't,
I'll tell you
Tim.
what, no. I'll give you a gentleman's bet. I don't think they'll fight.
All right, gentlemen's
I
bet.
think this will get scrapped. I think he'll either pull out or something will happen.
All right, gentlemen's bet. You were right on the last one. You said Cheaty. Wait, no, who was it? I don't remember who it was. You said someone was pulling out and then was gonna miss weight and then they
Miss
did
weight.
miss weight.
Yeah, I don't see this fight happening. It wouldn't surprise me if Cledson. It's
Oh, it's
Wednesday.
happening, and the only reason it
Where?
wouldn't happen is if Fareed's scared of him. Cledson's
No.
got those Muay Thai chops, man. This is another
Oh,
terrible fight. This is another fucking awful fight. You can take this
Za-
one to start, Tim.
Zara Farn versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Cavalcanti. Um. Yeah, this is a welcome to the UFC, Jacqueline. Thanks for coming up from LFA, and you're gonna fight someone that is on her way out and is just getting dog walked by. Uh, she last fought uh, Jos. I don't even know who that is.
Who is it?
Joe
Oh,
Josie Josie
oh,
and
dude, she's got some heavy hands. She's kind of creepy looking.
just fought her 7 months ago, lost a decision, and before that, it was 3.5 years ago against Felicia Spencer. She got knocked out, and then almost 4 years ago against Megan Anderson.
She's
Um,
years old.
yeah, 39 years old. She's on the card because she is from France. We have this girl from Portugal, Jacqueline, minus 325. I am not going to touch it. She has fought in PFL before. She's been, granted, she didn't win, but she fought Martina Jandrova, who I actually like Jandrova, and that was a split decision. So this girl can go on the bigger stages. We know that, and yeah, 26 years old to 39.
Is
Uh,
is
what
Zarn even gonna make weight here?
what is this supposed to be?
Is
Is
this
this
supposed to
one?
be at
Is it?
140 pounds? And I think she's fought at 145 her entire career. I don't know, man.
I
I
don't
don't
know why.
know.
I don't even know. I don't even know how they're making this fight. To
I
be
don't.
honest with you,
How did they even find these girls? They might not even be real. They might be showing us a fucking AI created fight right now. I've never seen
um,
either. They say that this Zarn lady has fought Nunez, Felicia Spencer, and Megan Anderson. I don't remember any of those fights.
I don't either. That must have been on like the early prelims, and she
Yeah,
must have. Yeah, that's probably one of those early prelims where you're like, oh man,
I
let
might
me
not
go.
show up to that one.
Let
This
me
might be
walk
that
the.
fight. I might not show up to this one.
Yeah, this is where you walk the dog. You need to take a shower. Yeah,
Man, I
yeah.
gotta
I'm
say though,
not.
Tim, I kind of liked the early card last weekend.
I did too. I did too.
I fucked with
But
it.
here's the thing though. I think going forward we have to go back to starting at the bottom because when you get to some of these prelims, like you know what I mean, like our big finale was a girl that's 39 years old and her record is just barely above 50%. And I'm
She's
glad
about
I
to be
could do the
six and
math on.
six.
Yeah, I am glad I could do the math. It's a little bit easier for me on 6-5 than 18-9-1. I
Good
don't know
job,
what the
Tim.
hell is going on there. Um, But we really don't get that build up to where we could actually see the actual competition of a Gane and Spivak. So I think we go back and lead back up to that. Because now I feel like we're missing something.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but it
I
does
feel
feel
like
like we're cutting it off.
it's like that's all you got is a 39-year
Zara
old.
Farn
Yeah,
versus Jacqueline Calvashanti. Who's
yeah.
who's our dog and or who's your dog and lock of the week?
Um, Dog is going to be Spivak.
Okay.
I think Spivak can get it done. And lock of the week,
There might
I'd
not be a
go.
lock of the week, to be honest.
There might not if I was to really be a wild man, I would go lock of the week is going to be Colin Lochran.
Ooh, that's a crazy lock of the week.
No, it's not. It's not. We already know Cage Warriors undefeated, 4 finishes in Cage Warriors, Ireland. Get the Connor tweet, and he's higher up on the card than Reese McKee, which means they want this kid um, to go forward. Why? Who do you have?
My my dog of the week is gonna be Moises. Pretty clean. He's my favorite bet, and then my lock of the week is going to be Gane versus Spivak under 3.5, which is -250. So it's not. It's again. It's kind of like a Giga Chikadze lock of the week. It's not one that is gonna have much juice to bet by itself, but for parlay purposes and stuff, I think that's about as lock as it gets because Spivak is either going to finish Gane quick or Gane is gonna knock him out. I think so. That under 3.5 is pretty juiced, but I think it's the right bet for that main card, and there's not a lot of favorites that I'm feeling crazy comfortable on here, so you know that's gonna be my lock.
And then we got UFC 293 next week. So, oh baby,
I'm gonna
can
be
you
cheering for
imagine?
Sean Strickland so hard.
I am, I am, and you want to know why? Because then you had to take Alex Pereira, and he's got a win over Izzy, right?
Yep.
He's got a win over Jan, the only other guy to beat um, Izzy. And then if Sean Strickland wins, and Izzy's got and then Alex got a win over Sean Strickland, can you imagine the mental damage that would do to someone?
Yeah,
I
dude.
can't beat this guy, but Alex beat him. I can't beat this guy, but Alex beat him.
Yep. Alex is Izzy's daddy. That's just a fact.
Yeah, this that card will be pretty good. I'm gonna hit a pretty big um, Aussie parlay in that one. I can feel it. I can feel it.
A little New Zealand parlay, a little something, something.
Little, little, yeah, a little down under. We'll
A
call it the
little
down under parlay.
shrimp on the bobby.
Yeah.
I
So,
like it.
but yeah, man, I think this is kind of a lull. I think 293 is going to be good. It kind of got a lot of shit. The main card isn't anything to write home about. But when you look at these guys, like next week, like Tui's fighting Izzy, Sean Strickland, Volkov, Tafa, Tyson Pedro, Carlos Ulberg, Jack Jenkins.
A lot of
I think
prospects.
yeah. I think it's gonna be pretty good, man.
Yeah,
But
I'm psyched too. This main card should be good. I'm excited for this entire main card and this card or this fight. With this card, I guess that's right. The entire main card for this card, and then a lot of prospects next week, which should be fun. And I'll be
yeah,
yelling at my fucking TV, trying to get Sean Strickland to not get knocked out, but he probably is going to get knocked out in like the second
yeah,
round or something. Probably gets put to sleep, but um, I'm going to be cheering my ass off for him. I want him to knock out Izzy so that Izzy has to wipe that stupid little smirk off his face. Izzy's so annoying and cringy to me. I guess I'm just being a hater, but I'm hating heavily, so it's passionate.
yeah. The guy's so good, though. That's the only
Yeah,
thing. He's
his
so good.
striking is. I hate him because he beat Robert Whitaker. That's why I hate him. But
Oh,
um,
listen, everybody's beating Bobby Knuckles these days. What are you gonna
oh,
do?
don't say that, Tim. Don't you dare say that. Pereira would die. Bobby Knuckles would put Pereira in the ground, 6 feet under.
Yeah, no, I don't know. We already know the real South African champ just put him down. So
Dreykus, baby. Man, imagine Dreykus versus Sean Strickland. How sloppy of a fight that would be.
I don't think I don't think you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Sean Strickland somehow wrestles the whole time.
Dude, he's got good wrestling. He actually does. He just never
He
uses
does.
it.
I know.
He's Justin Gaethje. That's so funny.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. But well, some good cards. Some good cards. These last couple. There's some spottiness in it, but hopefully we'll get a good banger and a lot of finishes this week.
Yeah, we were blessed in the month of July with what we had going on in the month of June
Well,
and July. So we were blessed, and now we've got a little lull, but that's fine. Still good cards.
absolutely.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you guys
I
for listening.
appreciate it. All right. Thanks, everybody.